Hey everybody, welcome to the Coach Howard Basketball Show and another edition of talking about high school basketball right here in Central Ohio. It's been a great week of basketball. Matter of fact, the last couple of weeks, it's been a great week of high school basketball. And I've got some great guests on the show today as we have the play-by-play Classic Special, which is coming up next Saturday, December 17th, right here in Central Ohio at Nationwide Arena. It's going to be an exciting event. We've got some great teams coming in. We've got Cleveland Heights playing Olentangy Orange in the first game. We've got Garfield Heights playing Chaminade Julian in the second game. St. Ignatius out of Cleveland going up against Powerhouse Africentric. And Lutheran East out of Cleveland going up against CVCA with the number 2 sophomore in the country in Darren Peterson. Then followed by that will be the big one, Sierra Canyon, going up against Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. In a conversation I was having with Coach Drew Joyce, Coach Joyce said, Coach, I got to get this one. I've played them 3 times, and I haven't gotten one yet, so I've got to get this one. So this is going to be a good game because Coach Joyce wants to get one from LeBron, as this is the last time that they will play each other with Bronny there. And then the last game of the night is going to be the Pickerington Central Tigers going up against Centerville in a rematch of the last year's state championship game. And today I will have on the coach of Centerville, Coach Cupps, along with the coach of Lutheran East, Coach Liggins, and the coach of Africentric High School here in Central Ohio, Coach Bates, coming up in a few minutes. But before I do that, I just want to go over some of the standings, top teams in Central Ohio. And then next week, hopefully I'm going to have a roundtable of some prep writers along with the GOAT, Jerry Watson, and we'll talk about my top 10 players and my top 10 teams. First of all, we want to take a look here and a shout out to 270 Hoops because you keep everybody updated. So we sneak into your page and we take a look here. So we're going to take a look here at the OCC Buckeye. So right now you have Newark atop that division at 5-1, followed by Pickerington Central, followed by Lancaster, and then Reynoldsburg, Groveport, Madison, Central Crossing. Reynoldsburg is young, very athletic. I'm a little disappointed right there at 2-3, but I guess they're going to learn as the season goes on. As you know, Central lost the first game to the prep school, Spires Prep School out of Cleveland, and Newark's been playing well. In the OCC capital, Delaware Hayes, they're undefeated. They're playing great basketball right now. Worthington Kilbourne is 3-1. Westerville North won a big one the other day against Westerville South. Big Walnut, Westerville South, Dublin Scioto, Franklin Heights, and Canal Winchester. And then as we stroll down from there, we'll take a look at some of the other conferences in the OCC. It's going to be Hilliard-Bradley and the OCC Cardinal. You've got Hilliard-Bradley at 4-1. Olentangy Berlin, which is a surprise, at 4-1. Dublin-Jerome at 4-2, who was picked to as my number 2 team in preseason as to win that conference, which is still early. So we're not going to dig deep into that. Followed by Olentangy, Marysville, and Thomas Worthington. The OCC Central, you've got Hilliard-Bradley atop that division conference at 4-0. Olentangy Orange, who I like a lot, is 4-0 as well. Olentangy Liberty 4-1. Upper Arlington, Dublin Kaufman, and Hilliard-Davidson. And then we're going to have the OCC Ohio. Pick North, who is a team that I do expect them to be in my top 10 next week's show, followed by Gahanna. Oh, they're 4-0, by the way, followed by Gahanna. Grove City, who I like a lot, too, as well. Gahanna took their first defeat the other day to Pickerington Central. Grove City's they're well-rounded, got size, shooting. They're at 3-1, followed by Westerville Central, who I like as well, too. They're scrappy. Not a lot of size, but a lot of athleticism. They follow at 2-2, followed by New Albany and Westland. Now we're going to take a look at the City League, which is, do you have that? Okay, I'm going to pull up the City League for you because I'm going to give you the take on the City League. Now, the City League, they've got some nice teams in there. They're playing some really good basketball. And what I'm looking at right here in the City League North, you've got Beechcroft, who's 2-1. East is 2-1. International's 3-2. Mifflin's 2-2. Followed by Centennial, Northland, Westone, and Linden. Northland probably has one of the top freshmen in Central Ohio and the state in Sir King. You got to see this kid play. He can handle the ball with either hand, shoot the ball with either hand, and he's a hell of a player. And if you go to the City League South, I'm going to say it's a bit of a surprise to me as well. It is South at 5-0. South is undefeated at 5-0. Africentric is 2-1. Walnut Ridge 2-1. Marion Franklin 2-3. Briggs 1-3. Followed by Eastmore, Independence, and West. But South, I haven't got a chance to see them yet. But at 3-0, that's pretty good. I want to round it out by going to the Central Catholic League. The Central Catholic League, Bishop Reedy, who I had in my top 10. I haven't got a chance to see them play as of yet, but from all understanding and from what I've talked to Coach several times, who will be on the show real soon, Bishop Reedy, they've got size, they can shoot the ball, they play well together. They've got a couple guys that's getting a lot of looks at the high D2 plus level. Followed by Bishop Hartley. I'm really not surprised by Bishop Hartley. They've got a new coach in Andreas James that's come in this year, and he's the kind of coach that can get those guys up and running, put that enthusiasm in them, and they are 3-0. DeSales, every year they're right there at 3-1. St. Charles is 2-2, and Bishop Watterson is 0-3. That kind of rounds it out. And for the Central Ohio. But, it's been some good basketball going on for the last couple of weeks, and it's only going to get better. You've got a couple of the top teams that took a 1 or 2 early losses. I don't really make a big deal about that because it's still early. But what I will look for is in the next couple of weeks, who continues to get better, who doesn't get better, and who falls off. And we'll find out, because the cream of the crop always rises to the top. And I would probably say by January, we'll definitely know who the top teams are in Central Ohio. Because every year there's 1 or 2 teams that kind of surprise everybody and they step up. And then by the time tournament time comes, they're right there in the district finals or the regional finals. So I'm excited to see who this year's teams are going to be that will step up and be there at the end. So I'm excited. Next Sunday will be a play-by-play recap. We will also have a small roundtable of guys, prep writers that I want to bring in that we can go over my top 10 teams and the top 10 players because everybody has their own difference of opinion. I've had a couple conversations with a couple of the prep writers, and theirs is a little different than mine. Now, I'm old school, so I might be a little harder, but we'll find out next week as you tune in and see who our top 10 Central Ohio teams are. And the top 10, which I've cut down from 15, I'm going to keep it at 10 because just looking at everybody and what everybody's doing, there's only 10 top 10 players in Central Ohio. We'll be back with Coach Bates right after this. Stay tuned.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show, and I'm excited about our next guest, someone that I've known for a while, and I had the pleasure of coaching under, and learned a lot when I was there. He's been coaching here for a very, very long time here in Central Ohio, one of the top coaches. He'll follow his dad as one of the greatest coaches to come out of the state of Ohio. I'm excited to bring on Coach Mike Bates. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I know you got practice, and I appreciate you taking the time out to come on to the show. But, you know, it's always a pleasure to have you on because I know you're going to give it to me straight. And I appreciate that very much. But let's get to it. The first question I want to ask you is, you know, how exciting is it to play at Nationwide Arena in front of your hometown, you know, against a very good team and to let everybody, even though they know in Central Ohio what you're all about, but there's going to be a lot of people here that's not in Central Ohio that's going to get an opportunity to see Africentric and Dalen Swain, the primetime player, going to Xavier.
Well, you know, first of all, you know, we were very honored when Mr. Treatment gave us the call and let us and invited us to be a part of the play-by-play classic. I remember the first one that they had about 4 years ago. I think that was 2019. I remember that one, and I remember going to that game and watching my brother's team, Jason Pick North. They were actually playing in that game, and I remember going to that game and just looking around, and most of my team went to that game, and we were looking around like, man, I wish we could get an opportunity to play in this. And then so, you know, 4 years later to have that opportunity, you know, we're extremely honored and extremely excited too to try to come out here and really get and try to compete and win against a very good Cleveland St. Ignatius team. So looking forward to that challenge, those opportunities. You know, I say it a lot, but iron sharpens iron. So the only way you can get yourself ready to play against these top teams where we peaking towards the end of the year for the state tournament is to put some teams like this on your schedule and put some opportunities like this on your schedule. So really looking forward to seeing where we are against a very good Cleveland St. Ignatius team.
You know, I remember when Jeremy had called me and said, you know, we started talking about the teams to bring in, and he mentioned you guys. I told without a question of a doubt, you know, we got to have them in there this year. I said, and it's just not Dalen. You know, that's what I tell people all the time. This team is, yeah, Dalen Swain is maybe the number one, number two player in the state, but this team is just, it's more than just Dalen. You've got some talent on that team, and you got some hard workers. They play hard, they scrappy, they go after it. You know, talk about your current team. Talk about the makeup of the team and what makes this team go, other than the coaches, which you had. Nishan's been with you for a long time, and you've got some great assistants. What makes this team go at Africentric?
After last year, after the elation of making it to the Final Four last year, and then the disappointment of losing in the Final Four last year, that was a lot of motivation that sparked our team, our boys, this offseason to really work hard, and they dedicated themselves to getting into the weight room. So we've been in the weight room quite a bit. You know, they worked on their skill work. They put the time in. And one of the things we wanted to work on this summer is we wanted to actually play faster. We wanted to play harder, and we wanted to share the ball more. And that's one of the things. Those are the three things I'm hoping that people see when they watch us play. You know, that we play hard, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna play hard. Well, that's the expectation, is to play hard. And then, you know, I believe we share the ball. We share the ball extremely well. These boys all have great chemistry. So, you know, if somebody's hot, they're going to get them the ball. The ball just doesn't stick very much. We've been really moving the ball well. And you know, we already wanted to play fast. You know, that's something that we wanted to do. Once again, you know, you give most student athletes the opportunity to choose whether they like to play fast or play slow. Most of them are going to choose to play fast. So in order to play fast, you got to practice fast. You got to practice hard. You got to play hard. And if you play fast, you get an opportunity for more guys to play. So we're a deeper team this year than we were last year. You know, I can really realistically go, you know, 10 deep 11 deep on my bench. And so extremely excited about what we did in the offseason to get ourselves to this particular position. Also getting Cortez Freeman. He's a junior, 2024 guard. He can play the point. He can shoot it. He's a very good combo guard, one of the tops in the state. Preston Steele is a 2023 big man. He's 6'7". He's 6'6". If you see his frame, he has a heck of a frame. Strong kid, plays extremely hard, rebounder, finisher in the paint. 2023 guy. Then I have some other students like LaRon Fuller. He's a 2024 guard, junior guard. Just get up in you, play defense hard, tough nosed kid. I think our team has, and then Dyson Bibbins is another student athlete that we have. He's one of our returning starters from last year. Just like that guy on your team that just does a little bit of everything. He'll guard the best guy on the other team, then he'll knock down the three and he'll grab rebounds. So we got a lot of different pieces that all kind of fit together, and I think we play a style of basketball that's entertaining and fun to watch also.
You know, a couple more questions to ask you, but I really like it, and I say it all the time, and you don't hear, you know, to be honest, you don't hear enough coaches say it, but it is what it is for you to say student athlete. I love that because that's what they are. They're student athletes. You just don't hear enough coaches saying that, so I just wanted to say that, you know, that's great hearing that from you, but I wouldn't expect nothing different from you. But the other thing is, what do you think? Like you said, you had the ups from going to the Final Four, then you had the downs from losing. What do you think your guys, especially your leaders, the guys that was a vital part of that team last year, did you see something different in them when they came to practice this year, when y'all started lifting and y'all started conditioning? And have you seen a hunger from them that says, okay, we enjoyed the part of getting there. Now we want to enjoy the part of holding that trophy that says we're state champs?
Oh, most definitely. That actually happened right away. To be honest with you, Coach Howard, it happened right away. As soon as we were able to get back in that gym, you know, you got to take those 28 days off after you lose your last game in the tournament. As soon as our 28 days was up, you know, we were in the gym. They wanted to be in the gym. They were ready to get back in the gym. They wanted to start working on those areas of weakness that they had. You know, they wanted to keep the stuff strong that they had, that they were doing well, but then they also wanted to start working on some of those things that we didn't do well. And one of the key things of last season, we know we needed to work on was we needed to increase our strength. We need to just be a stronger team down the stretch. You know, at the end of the season, you know, we felt like we got pushed around a little bit in that Final Four game and had some opportunities to play through some contact. There's a lot of contact. And, you know, when they just call the games differently in the state tournament, especially when you get to the Final Four, they let some stuff go a little bit more. And we just didn't do a good job of adjusting to the way that the game was being officiated. And so for us, we just need to be stronger so that those types of things won't affect us as much coming down the stretch. So that's something that we got right away. Then also, you know, we got shots up. We got a thing going on right now. We got a contest where, you know, students get on that the Dr. Dish, and they got to shoot 250 jump shots per week, and then they got to record the percentages so that we can just kind of track how well we're shooting. Are you shooting better this time than you did last time? Just doing a little bit more diagnosing different things to see where we were. Because, you know, the numbers don't lie. You can get into a gym and you can shoot, but you look at those percentages on that machine, it kind of tells you, you know, where you are. So we've just been doing a lot more of those things, you know, being, you know, just really focusing on the small things. Because when you get to that level, that top level, the differences between those teams, they aren't that much. You know, everybody's talented. Everybody plays hard. Everybody had some challenges to get there. But the difference between who wins and who loses is very small things. Who executed? Who got the box out? Who didn't miss that screen that they were supposed to hit? You know, and who's hitting the outlet man? All of those little bitty tiny things are going to be the difference between winning and losing when you're playing against a very high level opponent.
So, I know you've done your scouting work. What do you see in St. Ignatius that could cause you guys some problems?
It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff there. You know what I'm saying? You know, that bag is deep over there. You know, it's a lot of talented players that they have over at St. Ignatius. You know, Ace Buckner. Um, Ace is a very good lead guard. You know, and he's also experienced because he was a part of their Final Four team last year. Um, you know, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't remember all of their names. I just kind of know numbers, but you know, the backcourt has some experience. The front court, you know, the front court is big. You know, a couple of 6'8". Um, Coach Robinson, the new coach over at Cleveland State, his son 6'8". You know, he transferred in over there, so they got some nice size. And then they're extremely well coached. You know, Coach Joyce. You know, he's a lot like myself. He's also a product of a coaching family, and he's been around basketball a long time, and he's done an excellent job in his short time at St. Ignatius of putting together a program that has had a lot of success very quickly. And, you know, they have high expectations over there. And like I said, it's going to be a game where we're going to have to grind it out. And you know, with the size that they have, we have to be a little bit more physical. So we're not as big as them in every position. But I do like the size that we have as at Africentric as well, though. So it's going to be a physical game. I think that, you know, we're going to try to speed it up a little bit as much as we can and try to eliminate that size. I know when you start playing a little bit faster, size starts not to matter quite as much in the open court. So, you know, pretty much that size really means a lot once you get into the elbow, the paint. That's where that size comes into play. But you got somebody 6'8", and you can, if you're 5'10", you can guard somebody that's 6'8" at the half court line because you're still far away from the basket. But as they get closer to that basket, then that size starts to become a factor. So, you know, we want to make sure that we guarding these guys full court, making sure that we trying to eliminate that size advantage all over the court, all over the other areas of the court besides the paint. So, you know, that's kind of where we're working towards. And like I said, you know, this week, though, we still got two other big games in our league. We played Walnut Ridge on Tuesday, and then we play Eastmore on Friday. So, you know, it's not like we get the whole week to prepare for St. Ignatius. We got other fish to fry this week if we going before we can get to that one. So we got a lot of work to do this week.
Well, it's going to be an exciting week for you and a busy week for you. You only got a couple of days of practice this week. So, you know, my plan is to be there Tuesday to see that game because no matter, you can throw records out the door when it comes to you guys playing, it's always a fight, and it's going to be one heck of a game. But I cannot leave you without mentioning your dad, man. I mean, you know, I've known your dad for well over 20 years, and how is it coming from a basketball family? Do you and your brother and your dad ever get together on a group chat and talk, or FaceTime or Zoom, and just really talk basketball?
You know, we text. My dad sends us texts every morning. You know, my dad is a deacon at his church, and he wakes up every morning and does a Bible study. So he always sends us these Bible study reflections every morning. And me, him, and Jason kind of talk all the time about different things. So like sometimes we'll talk a little basketball, or we'll ask a question about something. But to be honest with you, most of the time, man, when we talk basketball, we're usually all together is when we'll kind of start talking about some of those things. But individually, you know, he coaches he might as well be one of my assistant coaches at Africentric because, you know, I talk to him probably every other day. And when we talk, he asking me, what's the team? He asked me about the team. He asked me about specific players in my practice on my team. Like, how did he do today in practice? Was he working on this? Was he working on that? So his mind is still super engaged in basketball and coaching and he's still coaching me. So, you know, he's been coaching me as my father my whole life in regards to just how to be a man and how to navigate life. So it's no different, man, with basketball. He's still doing the same thing. So, and I know he does the exact same thing with Jason. So it's just a blessing really to have somebody with the knowledge base that he has to lean on in those times. So it's been awesome, to be honest with you. I love it.
Bates, and I remember once before someone asked me, "Hey, does Coach Bates have any kids? I never see any kids." I said, "Coach Bates has thousands of kids. You just have no idea how many kids he has." So you know, you guys have done a great job. Dad has done a great job, and Mom, of course. So. You know, he's got to stay involved with you guys. If he didn't stay involved with you guys, man, with this basketball, that's what he knows. That's Coach Bates, man. You know, he's a Hall of Famer. And Coach, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's going to be a tough week for you. And you're closing out the week going up against, you know, one of the top teams in the state in St. Ignatius. But you guys are one of the top teams as well. But it's always good. The one thing about you is that you love to play against big-time competition. And it helps prepare you guys. You always have. And, you know, I'm going to let you go, but tell everybody why is it so important to do that?
Because it's a grind. The season is a grind. Like, you know, you want to challenge yourself, because to the ultimate goal, every team in the state of Ohio is trying to be a state champion, you know, but only 4 teams can be state champions at the end of the year. And so in order to get to that point, you have to build yourself up. You know what I mean? You just have to build. It's like a ladder. You can't skip no steps. You know what I'm saying? You got to take every step along the way. And sometimes you need to challenge yourself to see what else you need to work on. You know what I mean? Like, you could be having a lot of success, but, you know, it's like if you was running a race and the hurdles was only 6 feet or was only 6 inches off the ground, you know, you would be running that race and you'd be thinking that you're doing a great job, but those hurdles is only 6 inches off the ground. Now you raise those hurdles up another 2 feet, then all of a sudden you run that race. That race is a whole lot harder than what it was before. But if you gradually, as you going along, you raising those hurdles as you go along that season, you'll continue to make your progress and you'll get better because you've been preparing yourself to get to that final race when you get it to that height. So, you know, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to build up so that when we get to the state tournament, we're playing at our best and it's giving us our best opportunity to be a state champion.
Well, Coach, you've got some big ones coming up. You also go down to Flying to the Hoop, and then you turn right around and you come back from Flying to the Hoop and you got Pick Central. So, you know, it's like you've got some games coming up. And thank you very much for coming on. Good luck during the season. And tune in next week as me and the round table unveil my top 10 teams. Of course, you know, it goes according to this week, but you guys should be in there. Thank you very much, definitely. Coach Bates. I appreciate your love, man. And I told everybody that you're one of my former coaches that I coached under and learned a lot from. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. When you get up under the right guy and you can still learn things, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter who it is. It's always good to receive that knowledge from people that know the game. And I did with you. I appreciate you all the time. And I'll talk to you soon. And good luck this week.
Thank you very much, Coach Howard.
All right, talk to you soon. That was Coach Bates, man. He's a first-class guy, and I've known him for quite a long time, and I appreciate him coming on the show. He's got practice here in a few minutes, and he took the time out to come on. Coach Liggins from Lutheran East should be coming up here real soon, and we'll be right back with the Coach Howard Basketball Show.
Need help with digital marketing? Yamo has what you need to optimize your digital engagement and take your business to that next level. Yamo is a full-service media collective that offers multiple services, including digital marketing, to optimize your company's success. These services include promotional and posting assistance, social media analysis, as well as market analysis. If interested, please reach out through the website or the email featured below.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Great show today. I'm excited about all our guests. We just had Coach Bates on from Africentric. Our next coach is somebody I've been knowing for a while as well. One of the top programs in the state of Ohio. He's there every year in and year out in that Final Four regional championship. He's built a great program down at Lutheran East High School down in Cleveland. Coach Sam Liggins. Coach, are you there? Coach, how
Yes,
you
I'm here.
doing, man?
How you doing, man? Good to see you, George.
Can you hear me now?
You hear me?
I got you.
Yes, you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You're in your car. Um,
Yeah.
you're in your car on your way to practice?
On my way to practice.
That's good. I appreciate you taking the time out, man, to come on to the show with me today. I ain't going to keep you but for a few minutes, man. Hey, real quick, what's it like to have the opportunity to play at Nationwide Arena in front of thousands of people that's going to be there, and you're playing against a very good team with the #2 sophomore in the country and Darren Peterson? What's it like to be able to come down here in Central Ohio and play in front of all these people?
Man, I think it's an unbelievable experience, man. We never turn down these kind of opportunities because we feel like the kids deserve it. These kids have 4 years of high school. Everyone that don't get to play after high school or anything after that. So we just try to give the kids the best experience possible. So anytime we get an opportunity to play in front of that crowd of people and that type of talent on that platform, I think we're going to take it every time.
You
I
know,
lost you.
can you hear
Okay,
me
you back.
now?
I'm sorry.
Talk about the
Yeah, I hear
makeup
you.
of this team, and because I'm familiar with the team, but a lot of people aren't. You've got some good players. You've got probably the #1 freshman in the state. Talk about your team and what people can look for when you guys come down here next Saturday to Nationwide Arena for the Play-by-Play Classic.
This team is highly talented. We have our junior stud and Jesse McCullough, 6'9" kid that's he's been recruited by the entire Big Ten. We have a #1 freshman in the state of Ohio and TJ Crumble, 6'7" swing man, and he has 5 high major offers as well. Then we have a senior guard in Cody Head who has been playing lights out, man. So I think our team is very long and versatile and very exciting to watch.
You guys last year, you won the state, correct?
We lost in the state final four
To
to Cincinnati
to
Tag.
Taft. Okay, my bad. That's right. You did.
Yep.
You lost to Taft. So I'm gonna ask you this question. There's two different scenarios that you had with this team. You had your high from making it to the state championship, and then you had your low from losing in the state championship. Did you see something? I just asked Coach Bates the same question. When you guys were ready to start, able to get back in the gym, start working out, start conditioning, they came back in September, October. They came back ready to practice in November. Did you see, because you stay in that gym. I know you're staying in that gym with them guys. Did you see a different type of hunger with those guys other than TJ? Okay, well, we lost it last year, but we want to come back this year. We want to get it, and we want to go out a different way than we came in. Have you seen that with your guys?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the blessing of being able to bring back 90% of your team. Experience is the best teacher. So whenever you're able to have a team that was able to reach that far in the state tournament, and then for them to lose and feel that pain, it only increases their hunger. So these guys have been getting after it since June, honestly, and these guys are not going to settle for nothing but a state championship this year.
Talk about your freshman, TJ Crumble. He's 6'8", can shoot the ball, nice mid-range, can handle the ball, can get to the cup. Defensively, I'm not sure. I don't see you guys enough defensively, but I know that he's very talented. How good can he be? How high is his plate?
I think his ceiling is extremely high. For him to be a freshman, he was able to fit right into a veteran team. Our team is made up of a ton of juniors and seniors, and he's actually a starter for us as a freshman. His feel for the game and his IQ for the game and understanding of the game is very high. Yes, he's talented and he's very skilled, but he's ultra competitive. He wants to really win, and anytime you got a kid that wants to win that bad, he's easy to coach, and he fits into what we want to do.
You have been coaching at the school how long now?
Total 9 years, 5
9 years.
years as head coach.
So when you came in, you had some work to do, and you really put that work in and really built this program. What's it like, every year having talent come to you year after year? Because when parents bring their kids to you, you're a small school, you're not as big as some of the other schools. You don't have all the luxuries that a lot of the other schools have. But the one thing that I've had parents tell me is that they love what you do with the kids. They love the way you stay in the gym with the kids. They love how you get them, but help make them better. What drives you to every year in and year out to keep going? What's your motivation to do what you do?
It's the kids, man. Being able to give back and help a kid reach their dream is the most gratifying thing I think I have in my life. Just being able to be a mentor to them and change their lives on and off the court is something very special. And it's a tough job every year. It really is. But I think a lot of kids want to come to Lutheran East because they see how much we care, how much passion we put in, and it's hard work. And I think that the kids that really want to be great want to be pushed hard and told the truth. And that's what we do there at Lutheran East.
Talk about the competition down in Cleveland. We're down here in Central Ohio. A lot of people don't know about, it's a lot of ballers down there in Cleveland, man. Cleveland is a basketball hotbed. Talk about that area and who's some of the top teams down in Cleveland, just to give people that's watching here in Central Ohio, a little idea of what's really going on down in Cleveland, Ohio.
In Cleveland, it's a highly talented city, man. It's a lot of athletes. It's a very aggressive style of basketball. But you have teams like Cleveland Heights, you have Garfield Heights, you have St. Edward, St. Ignatius, you got Brush, you have St. Vincent, St. Mary. Those teams year in and year out are the top teams in this area that, people want to come see play, and they have talent every year.
How do you guys have a filter program down at Lutheran East? I know you have Lutheran East, Lutheran West. I don't know if you have a filter program like a lot of the OCC schools. They have filter programs up under them. Do you guys have that there, or they just come from wherever?
They just come from wherever, man. Like our school is not fortunate to have a feeder school program. So our kids are coming from sometimes 30, 40 miles, sometimes 2 miles. I mean, but it ranges and varies from everywhere. But like I said, it's the kids that really have an urge to get better and really want to put work in. They seek us out for sure.
Now, Jesse is, I'm only going to ask you a couple more questions. I know you got to go. I appreciate you coming on. Jesse is a guy that, for a lot of people that don't know, Jesse is 6'9", and he can just kind of do a whole lot of different things. Do you move him all over the court, Coach, or what will people see from Jesse next week? In your guys' style of play.
Oh, it's actually game by game with Jesse. If he has a smaller guy on him, then he's going down low, which he's very skilled at down there. He started his career there over the years. He's been able to stretch out and shoot threes and play on the perimeter a bit. And if it's bigger guys out there, then he can move around and pick and pop and stretch and shoot. He's such a versatile kid, man, and he's a special player, honestly, man, because he's an unbelievable teammate. He's a kid that never complains about getting the ball, touching the ball, how many minutes he plays. He's genuinely there to win, man. So he's an all-around treat to have.
What do you think happened with Cody, man? You think his whole mindset changed, or did he just finally realize? Because, Coach, 41 years I've been doing this, man. I always tell guys, I say, when that light in your brain clicks on, when it actually clicks on and you feel like this is not hard, it's not as hard as I make it, and they start listening to the coaches and you find out it's easy. I can do this. What has happened with him? Because he's just, he's a whole different player now, which helps your team because it takes you guys to a whole nother level as well.
Absolutely. Well, with Cody, it's more of a confidence thing. Last year was his first year with us. He had a huge role for us. He was our guy. He was our leading scorer. And sometimes everyone wants that, but they don't know what it really feels like to be the lead scorer or the primary option. And last year was his first year actually being that. And that takes time. Some happen overnight, some it just takes a process. And for him going through last year and having that experience, I think it's paying dividends this year in the senior year where he's far more confident and he understands what it takes day in, day out just to be that guy for us.
Well, Coach, I don't know who you got this week. Before you get to play-by-play, who do you play?
We got Rhodes on Tuesday night.
And then you're off Friday.
Yep, they're off Friday, and we're playing CVCA and play-by-play.
So you've got some time to get some practice in, man. A lot of teams, they playing 2 days this week, then they're playing Saturday. Only got a couple days to get some practice in. But good luck this week, Coach, and I appreciate you coming on. And I'll see you guys flying to the hoop here in Columbus. You play at Flying to the Hoop one day, you come back the next day, and you play in Columbus over at Ohio Dominican. So for a lot of people out there in Central Ohio, whenever you get a chance to watch this team, it's probably one of the most talented teams in the state of Ohio. They've got it everywhere. They're loaded with athletes. We didn't even talk about the other guys they have. But if you ever get a chance, watch Lutheran East, who is one of the top teams in the state, number one in their division. And Coach, thank you very much. Much love to you. I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. I don't get to see y'all that much. I wish I did, but you ain't right around the corner, so I can't just come and watch you guys when I want to. But I will be there live and in living color on Saturday. And everybody make sure you get out to watch Lutheran East Saturday as they go up against CVCA and Darren Peterson, the number 2 sophomore in the country, this Saturday. It's going to be live over there, Coach. I know you're going to spend the day, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there all day.
It's going to be some good basketball. Thanks, Coach. Good luck this week. I appreciate you, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate you, man.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, that's Coach Liggins out of Lutheran East, and I'm telling you, that Lutheran East team is talented. They're right there in the same division with Africentric, and they could meet down in the state championship, and what a game that would be. They met a couple weeks ago. Lutheran East came away with the W, but Dalen Swain was still injured with his fractured foot, but he played on it. It just got cleared. Could be a different story next time. Who knows? But we'll wait and see. Hey, we'll be right back after these messages, and I'm looking forward to our next guest.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 614-228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
Need help with digital marketing? Yamo has what you need to optimize your digital engagement and take your business to that next level. Yamo is a full-service media collective that offers multiple services, including digital marketing, to optimize your company's success. These services include promotional and posting assistance, social media analysis, as well as market analysis. If interested, please reach out through the website or the email featured below.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Hey, I'm so excited to have our next guest, who is a legend here already in the state of Ohio. Coach Cupps, how you doing?
I'm good, George. How are you?
Got you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
I
How
can
you
hear
doing,
you.
Coach?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, another day. If the weather changes, that would help out a lot. We can get some sunshine in here. That'd be nice, right?
I hear you, no doubt.
Coach, how's it feel? First question, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on the show. It's a pleasure having you on the show and taking the invite. How is it you've played in front of a lot of venues, some big venues, but to come down and play at Nationwide Arena, against a team last year that defeated you in the state championship, Pickerington Central, and now you're coming back down here playing a Nationwide Arena in front of thousands of people. How is it to be able to come down in Central Ohio and do that against a team that defeated you last year? That should be pretty huge, isn't it?
I mean, the way we think about it is we want to put our kids in situations that are going to challenge them, and an environment that like they have at the Scholastic play-by-plays that Jeremy puts together, always great events. The opportunity to play Pick Central, a great team, is important. I think for us, we want our schedule to be as hard as we can make it, and because that holds us accountable and makes us do things the right way. We don't get away with doing things the wrong way when we play great competition. Honestly, we haven't talked at all about, revenge or anything like that from last year. I mean, we don't really view stuff like that. Like, we look at it as like, we're trying to get this group as far as we can. Even last year, I know it was a state championship game. For us, it was a game. Like, we wanted to play our best. We got beat by Pick Central. And so we're just going back out, trying to get this team as good as it can be. And, it really, for us, it hasn't become any more than that. So, like, the opponent is important because Pick Central is really good, but the fact that it's a team that beat us last year really doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, and that's great that you say that. I think, when that time comes and the players get on the court, I think it'll be a little, it's going to be a game that a lot of people really wants to see. I even would like to see it myself. You're a great team. They're a good team. And so it's going to be a great game for the fans to see. And I think it's going to be good for the players. I think it's good for them to be able to play in a game like that, an environment like that. When you follow that game between Sierra Canyon and St. Vincent, the crowd is going to be kind of hyped. So I think it'll be a great environment for all the kids. Coach, you've had a great career down at Centerville. You've been doing this how long now, Coach?
This is my 23rd year as a head coach.
23rd year as a
23.
head coach. I know how it is. I did it for 38 years. And so I understand the grind. Coach, what keeps you going year after year? Have you ever had the thoughts of maybe, I want to sit back now and just watch a little bit? Or what keeps you going on this grind, being able to work with these student athletes?
For me, it kind of speaks to my purpose. So I feel like my purpose in life is to inspire people to strive for excellence over success. And so for me, excellence is just becoming the best version of yourself and the person that you were created to be. And I think that is a big enough driving factor for me to make all the work and all the sacrifices and all the stuff that seems like bad things, make it worth it to continue working with kids, because I think I think there's such a big thing with comparison, and I think it's poison to kids. And so try to be really intentional about helping our guys understand that they're all kind of running their own race, and like what one guy's doing and what another guy's doing and what our program's doing and what another program's doing. Those are all separate things. And I think when we can define success on our terms rather than society's terms, then I think we put ourselves in a position to be our best and to enjoy a life that is fulfilling and conscious of others. And so with that purpose in mind, that's really why I coach. And so I think that's a pretty big calling. I think that's that's where my gifts lie, and that's where I want to try to serve the people that are in our program and the people that are around our program.
Well, you do a great job of it, and I really admire you, Coach, as a coach and as a man of God as well, because I've been doing what I've been doing for 41 years. And the only reason that I do what I do is because this is the calling and what God has had me to do for so long. And I'm probably going to do this till the day that I go with him and join him. But you do such a great job. Coach, talk about this year's Centerville team. You've got your son who's going to Indiana. That's one of the top players in the country and the state. And Gabe, I love his game. I love to watch him play. And I think he's going to have a good career at Indiana. But you've got a lot of other, players that surround him. Can you talk about this year's team and what people can look forward to seeing next week and down the road with Centerville?
Yeah, no, I appreciate those kind words regarding Gabe, George. Yeah, we do. It's a different group for us. I think that's probably the best way to describe our team right now is, we had a few kids move in, which we've never dealt with. The guys that I've been coaching the last, 10 years at Centerville have been in Centerville's basketball program since they were in third grade. And so that is a different challenge and a different set of things that we're dealing with. The kids that have come in have been welcomed really well by the guys that were here. I think we have a chance to be really good, but we're not really good right now. Like we've got a ways to go. We've got to figure out a lot of things, and I'd say we're like kind of clunky right now. Nothing is real smooth, which is okay. Like we're working at it. The guys are willing. It's not a matter of will they do it. It's just a matter of getting them the reps and the understanding and fully committed to their roles and the way we try to play. So we're just working on that. We're trying to get them used to Centerville basketball, and we're trying to get Centerville basketball kind of ingrained in them. So, we're gonna try to guard you, try to take good shots. Like the game's not super complicated. We just try to do those things and do them really well. And but the guys that moved in are impactful for us. Jonathan Powell moved in from CJ. He actually lived in our district. His mom lived in our district. His younger brother's gone to Centerville. And then JP came over this year from CJ. But he's a great player. He's got several Big Ten offers and can really shoot the ball and stretches the defense, almost fills a similar role to what Tom House filled for us last year. And then the other guys that came in, you're trying to find out how they fit exactly into what we're doing. And it's funny, it impacted a lot of the guys that were here. Gabe's role is the same, but way different. And it's taking him some time to get used to what this group needs him to do. Because that's kind of how he plays. He just tries to, I always say he's an acquired taste. Like not everybody likes him or can appreciate the things that he does. But he's got to figure out exactly what it is that he has to do with this group and this team to make it as good as possible. Because I think that's what a point guard's job is. Figure out how to help your team win, whatever that means. And so, our other guys are working at it. So we'll see. Hopefully we're just progressing forward. And I think, I know Pick Central is going to be a good test in showing us where we are. So we're looking forward to it.
I think you'll be a good test in showing them where they are as well. So I think that'll go kind of both ways. You're both good teams, and it's still early in the season right now. So a loss or two doesn't really, to me, define who a team is right now. Anyway, you're in the league that you're in down there. You had a big game not too long ago. You played a team out of Indiana, Cathedral. Am I correct? One of the number one in the state of Indiana in their top division. And you guys had an opportunity to win that game from what I heard. I wasn't there. I talked to several people that was there. What did your kids learn from this game and take with them in that loss to Cathedral?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty similar to what we're looking for out of the game with Pick Central. I mean, Cathedral's really good. They won the state last year in Indiana. They return almost all their guys. They're a top 20 team in the country. And it was a game like it was one possession game. Like late in the fourth quarter, we had chances. But it's also one of those things where I think it becomes a little bit more urgent when you're in those situations and the team that you're playing makes you pay for those defensive breakdowns and those the bad shots or the poor possessions you have offensively. If you get away with those and you still win those games, it becomes a little bit okay for the guys. And but when you play teams that can make you pay for those, and Cathedral made us pay for every breakdown that we had, and I think that brings it to light a lot more. I know we've had a greater focus in practice and more of attention to detail and more urgency in terms of getting things right this week. And so, that's all we're looking for. We're just trying to keep getting better. And I think as long as we are willing to do that and take the lessons that come along with it, listen, man, like everybody gets in the tournament in basketball. Like it doesn't matter. You need to be playing your best basketball at the end of the year. That's what we talk about. We don't talk about winning the league or winning this game or that game. It's just we want to be playing our best basketball at the end of the season. And I think, things like the Cathedral game and the Pick Central game and some of the other ones we've got scheduled. Our conference is a great conference with Wayne and Springfield and Springboro. There's a lot of talent in our conference this year. And so I think, those will definitely get us ready. So we're just chopping, man, just trying to get better. That's it.
Hey, that's what you do. That's what you do, Coach. How important is it? And I always ask coaches this, and I think I know, but how important is it to have a tough non-conference schedule, to help get your team prepared, not just for the conference, but for the tournament, because that's all that matters, really. I mean, like you said, everybody makes the tournament, and when you get to the tournament, that's a whole new season. You can throw out what happened and what you did up until that point, but you start a whole new season. The only difference in that new season is a one game at a time season, because if you lose, you're done. How important is it to have a tough non-conference schedule, which you play every year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important because I don't like pretending. Like I don't like acting like we're good or thinking we're good because we've beaten some teams that maybe aren't at the level that we need to be competing at. So we try to make our non-conference schedule like real. Like you're going to know where you are. Like there's not going to be any pretending. Like we already know we're not good enough. Like we already have that clear test. I mean, Cathedral showed us that very clearly. And whatever comes out of the game on Saturday with Pick Central, we're going to have a feel for that. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of things that they're going to expose that we need to work on and get better at. And so the other part of it is like, I'm competitive. Like I like to compete, and like basketball is how I do that, but it would really be playing euchre. Like it doesn't really matter. I want to win. I'm competitive. And I think kids enjoy it too. The kids that we want in our program on our team, like they want to play the best teams that we can schedule. Like that's what they work for every morning. That's what they practice for. We want to play, at the highest level that we can play at. And so I'm just grateful that we're in a place where, our program's in a situation that we are able to get those games. We got kids in our program that look forward to those games, and we got, administration that support us in going out and playing the type of competition and the schedule that we play.
Coach, who are you guys? I've looked at it several times, but, when you get older, your memory just doesn't stick with you all the time. Who are you guys playing at Flying to the Hoop? Uh-oh.
So we got SoCal Academy again. We snuck up on them last year when they were like top 10 in the country and beat them at Flying to the Hoop. And they said this year that they wanted to play us.
Wow.
That ain't good. Good.
Now, Coach,
But
we just talked about at the beginning of the show, we just talked about, you and Central going back, and you said payback doesn't mean, but they're thinking differently. So,
yeah, they are thinking it's all good. It's all good. It'll be another great game for us.
but
Yep.
it's a game for your guys that's going to help. Every game is a learning experience, and every game those kids should learn from the opposing team, and the things they do, because every team plays different. There's not one team that you're not going to, no matter how many games you play, you're not going to play the same team that does the same things as the team you played before. And all those things these kids can take, and they can learn from that. Your son, I want to speak on him for just a second real quick. He's had a fantastic career, and he's played with Bronny quite a bit. He's played out there. How's he enjoyed the process and staying humble at the same time? Because I'm sure that's one of the things that you've taught him, is to enjoy the process, enjoy the limelight, but just, stay humble and just don't forget, who you are. And that's very important. I tell that to a lot of young men. But your son seems to do that. How's he enjoyed this, Coach?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Gabe's been really fortunate with his experiences in basketball. I mean, he was fortunate enough to make that blue chip team when he was a fourth grader, and we didn't even know it was Bronny's team when we went up there to try out. I mean, I think somebody was just looking down on him and putting him in such a great situation. But he's enjoyed that a lot. I think it's exposed him to some basketball that he would have never gotten exposed to, and some experiences and environments that really have made the state tournament and opportunities he's had within our high school program just kind of be other big situations, not like a big eye-opening thing that he had to try to deal with. So it's set him up for opportunities that he's been fortunate enough to, he's worked and put himself in a situation to take advantage of those. But I think his relationship with Bronny is really cool, that he can still talk to him, and they check in on each other every once in a while. And, his relationship with LeBron, and, all those things, which, like, believe me, man, like, I realize how fortunate he is. I don't think any of that stuff was anything that we did to deserve that. He was very fortunate. He was very blessed to be in those situations. And, to Gabe's credit, he did take advantage of them and work. Like, he was in those situations, and he allowed that to be a fire that propelled him to work harder and invest in the process that it takes to become a good player. So, more than anything, just grateful for all those experiences. And and as far as the humble stuff goes, I think we've had a ton of conversations as he's gone through that, and how he gauges success. Just like I talked about my purpose, like, we don't talk about how many points he scored or how many assists he had or how many whatever. We talk about, like, did he honor his values? Did he stand by, like, the person that he wants to be? His values are being selfless, devoted, and joyful. And so if he's selfless, devoted, and joyful, and he's 0 for 10 from the field, and he does everything he can to help his team, and he ends up with 0 points, then we got to be good with that. Then, like, that, I mean, obviously he's not happy about the making or missing shots, but he doesn't tie, or we're trying to help him not tie his value and his worth as a person to his performance on the basketball court. I don't think that's healthy. And he's done a good job of that. Like, society, social media, that stuff sure tries to jerk you back into that. But just think you operate from a way healthier place. I want Gabe to be a great father and a great husband and a great friend, more than I want him to be a great basketball player. And so if we can try to keep that stuff in line while he's playing high level basketball, that's what we try to do.
Coach, I was always a fan. I think I'm an even bigger fan of yours now. I think, because you've just said some things that I I talk with my children about all the time, and man, I just took that to heart. That's just great hearing that from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you Saturday. It's always good watching Centerville basketball. You guys play a great style of basketball, and it's going to be a good game. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for coming on, Coach. And if you're not a Hall of Famer, I know you're going to be a Hall of Fame coach one day. How long do you think you can keep doing this, Coach?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't feel like work yet, so we'll see. But I appreciate you having me on, George. I love the platform and you sharing basketball, spreading the game. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and be on your show. So I'm looking forward to Saturday also. So thanks for having me.
And hopefully, here by tournament time, I can get you back on and talk about going into the tournament.
That sounds great.
Thank you very much, Coach, and I'll have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Right. Okay, bye-bye. So that was Coach Cupps, man. He's a first-class guy. I've known him for quite a while, and he does a great job down there at Centerville. And not only that, but he does a lot of other things throughout the state, too. So I can't wait to see that game Saturday between Centerville and Pickerington Central in a rematch of last year's state championship game, which Centerville came away the victors. It's going to be a good game, and we're going to get a chance to find out where both teams really are. They'll both have a couple games this week going into that game, and that's probably the biggest early season matchup within the state that we'll probably see, and I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. We'll be right back to the Coach Howard Show right after this message.
Hello, I am Annie J. Ross Womack, the Executive Director of the Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, and I'm here to talk to the parents and student athletes about a very important topic. The NCAA has instituted different standards for all divisions of student athletes. Before you can play sports in any college or university, you must present a negative trait status or hemoglobin status documentation. Your hemoglobin status is taken at birth with the newborn screening. And what they do is they run your blood for any abnormality or any birth defect. There are thousands of newborn screening birth defects in this country. For more information about sickle cell disease, sickle cell trait testing, you can call our offices at 614-228-0157. Or you can visit us via web at ohiosicklecell.org.
Need help with digital marketing? Yamo has what you need to optimize your digital engagement and take your business to that next level. Yamo is a full-service media collective that offers multiple services, including digital marketing, to optimize your company's success. These services include promotional and posting assistance, social media analysis, as well as market analysis. If interested, please reach out through the website or the email featured below.
Welcome back to the Coach Howard Basketball Show. We couldn't get in Jeremy Treatment, but we're going to try to get him on here in a few minutes. And if not, then we will get him on later on during the week. But we appreciate him so much. He's down in Kentucky. He's got a big play-by-play classic going on down there. But I just want to say that if you get the opportunity, please come out to the play-by-play classic this Saturday, December 17th at Nationwide Arena. Once again, we've got a great schedule of games with Cleveland Heights going up against one of the top teams in Central Ohio, Olentangy Orange. Garfield Heights with one of the top freshmen in the state, and Marcus Johnson going up against the Washington Brothers and Chaminade Julian. You've got a powerhouse in St. Ignatius going up against Dalen Swain and Africentric here in Central Ohio. You've got Lutheran East, another powerhouse in the state, going up against CYCA with Darren Peterson, the number 2 sophomore in the country. You've got Sierra Canyon coming down with Bronny James, Bryce James, Pippin, Hardaway, a great team, one of the top 20 teams in the country. And they're going to play St. Vincent St. Mary and Coach Drew Joyce as he's trying to get that win to close out Bronny's career against Bronny. And then you've got probably, to me, the biggest matchup of the day, Centerville going against Pickerington Central. Number 1, number 2 in the state. Last year, they went at it in the state championship with Pickerington Central coming away as the victors. That's going to be a great game. So don't forget on Saturday. It's been a great show today. I really enjoyed talking with all the guests, some of the top coaches in the state. And it was a great show as we get ready for next week's play-by-play classic at Nationwide Arena. I look forward to seeing everybody there. I'll be there. We'll also have a special guest flying in from Los Angeles, California, recording artist G-Man from Pickerington, Ohio, that's now putting out beautiful music throughout the country. So we look forward to having him during the halftime concert of the Centerville Pickerington Central game. And I look forward to seeing all of you next Saturday. But don't forget, next Sunday, we're going to have some prep writers here on the show that knows exactly what they're talking about. We're also going to have the GOAT, Jerry Watson, on the show. And we're going to talk about my top 10 teams, which is changing a lot, and my top 10 players. And I may go alphabetical order. I may just go 1 through 10. Tune in next Sunday and you'll find out on the Coach Howard Basketball Show. Have a beautiful day, and may God bless you.